What is good, everybody? Welcome to your Friday Soul at Home workout. We're almost done with the week. I would like to start by saying I am so pumped seeing all of the videos and us being tagged and stuff. I don't know what it is, but really about Thursday's workout, the Renegade Row into the Double Press and into the Burpee. Personally, I think that the cyclical, repetitive nature of that workout, I think when certain people read it, they feel like it's boring. I even got a text from someone actually, and maybe you're watching this, and it was like, I don't like that workout. I'm going to do something else. Okay. But personally, I think that is a very cool workout. I'm stoked to see you guys grind through something that hard. Just like a lot of the simple stuff we're doing right now. The only limiter really in that is going to be up here and your ability to sustain and push. And seeing how those movements flow from one to the other, how you can do them in one place, how it's so damn simple. You honestly don't even need dumbbells to do that workout if you don't have any. I think is very cool. I saw people doing them with, I saw someone who filled a Gatorade bottle full of sand and dirt and rocks. I saw people doing them with light dumbbells. I saw some people trying to do them with heavier dumbbells. And I'm just really stoked to see that. So A+, very good job for everybody who survived Thursday's workout. Let's move on to Fridays. First, we have a question that came up, and that question was, what can be done during this time to maintain our pulling gymnastics, specifically ring muscle-ups and bar muscle-ups if we don't have the ability to perform those movements? So first off, let me say and acknowledge that I know that this very specific question caters to a very specific and very small group of people who follow this program. We do have some folks that have bar muscle-ups and have more advanced gymnastics skills who follow these programs, and I'll address that in a second. However, when I talk about stuff like that, like really high-end handstand walking, over body weight snatches, heavy deadlifts, etc., I'm really talking to everyone, right? Because there are options, substitutions, what some other programs call scale downs, term I absolutely hate, then doing some of these high-level gymnastics exercises. I know not everyone has a need to do them all. There's just some folks that really don't need to learn a muscle-up. What's the point for some people? What I will say is this, though. What is a muscle-up, right? A muscle-up is a pulling exercise. We perform some kind of a transition and a press. Right, and if you don't have the ability to perform a muscle up, you are more than likely deficient in one of those areas. Now, it could be just putting the whole thing together. It could be working with a good coach that's giving you good training cues and showing you appropriate movement pattern of those exercises. Unfortunately, the way those exercises are coached and performed and trained at many CrossFit gyms, in my opinion, are not very smart, and they don't coach them well. And in my opinion, they should stay away from coaching them completely. Now, if you're working with a good coach and get their hands on you, you can develop and cultivate those skills. I don't want to talk about that. If you are deficient in one of those areas, that is an area that you should continue to train, regardless if you are a mom and pop, a doctor, a lawyer, a teacher, someone who doesn't care about competition, all the way to your, 3 times, 5 times CrossFit Games athlete. That is something that you should continue exposing yourself to so you can develop those areas where you are deficient in, if that makes sense, right? So specifically talking about pulling strength, right? It may be the pull. Now, if we're talking about the transition or maybe the press out, there's a few things to unpack there. But as you can see, regardless of who you are, there's absolutely something that you could train during that segment in the workout where we want you to be working on some of those skills. right? And it could be as simple as a strict pull-up, right? It could be something as simple as a ring row. It could be something as, you could put a barbell or a bar or a dowel or a stick on an object and pull your chest to that object. If that's too easy for you, you can elevate your feet. There's several different options. Now, pulling strength is a huge piece to the puzzle. And I don't want you guys to only focus on doing kipping exercises. To be totally honest with you, in a perfect world, if you cannot do strict exercises, you are not ready to perform them kipping. And that goes for kipping pull-ups, and that goes for ring muscle-ups, and that goes for handstand push-ups, etc., etc. I personally have a really hard line and a hard rule. If you cannot perform them strict, you are not ready to perform them kipping, no matter how cool that's going to make you feel during the open. If we don't have the musculature built up in the shoulders, we don't have the tendon strength and the connective tissue strength to protect our shoulders, it's not time to apply intensity and try to move faster to get a better time or to chase people, right? That is setting us up for failure, not success, okay? So what can you do? I know I've been talking a lot about the pulling strength, but what can you do right now? You don't have a pull-up bar, you don't have a set of rings, you don't have a TRX, you don't have all of these toys that we have at the gym. So what are your options? Well, first and foremost, I'll say straight up, you can still go to a park. I know that they're closed, but if you have the ability and you can find a park and there's one close by, sneak in and get some of your pull-ups in. Personally, I think that's okay right now. If you don't, we've had people that have been very creative and they've attached ropes to their door handle, right? And they'll lay flat and they'll do rows. They'll pull their own body weight. I think bands are a really good option. I saw a video of one of our clients take a towel and wrap it around a tree. Now, this is a client who cannot do strict pull-ups, who cannot do legless rope climbs. And what he was doing was jumping up. I had him pause with his chin over the towel and do negatives, right? Once again, this is probably the best tool for many of you guys. He grabbed the towel, he put it over the tree, he had a small chair next to him, he jumped up, he squeezed his bicep with his chin over his hands, and he performed a slow negative. Okay, for those folks who are really worried about losing some of that pulling strength, these are some great options and things that you guys can do. Another thing, there's companies that sell pull-up bars for the door frame. There's several different options. I can really talk about this all day, obviously, but any exercise that you're going to do that is going to stimulate the basic terms, the upper back muscles will help you continue not just to stay strong with strict pulling, but to continue to get stronger, right? Because these are different planes and these are different ways of pulling that you don't even traditionally do at Soul, right? So there's several different options. I'd love to see some of you guys get creative and post some of that stuff. Maybe you can teach me. All right, specific to Friday's workout. Friday's workout is a structure that is consistent with another CrossFit benchmark called Fight Gone Bad. Okay, it's 5 rounds, and within those 5 rounds, you have, for our workout, we have 3 different 1-minute stations and then 1 minute of built-in rest. So for our version, we're doing max rep power cleans at 95 and 65 if you have a barbell at home. If you don't, you can do it with dumbbells. You can do it with a med ball, et cetera, et cetera. So 1 minute of max rep cleans. Clean something. Clean the barbell. Clean the dumbbells. Use one kettlebell. Use a med ball. Use a cinder block. Use a heavy bag. Whatever it is. It's 1 minute of max repetition cleans. Then 1 minute max repetition swings. Once again, use a kettlebell. Use a dumbbell, use a sandbag, use a backpack, use the cinder block, whatever it is, 1 minute of max repetition cleans. Moving into 1 minute of max repetition push presses with whatever you did the cleans with. All right. Now, there's a few ways to unpack this workout. Everyone's going to have a different relationship with it. In each different minute break, or in each different minute segment, everyone has something different where they can make their money. And depending on the kind of athlete you are, depending on what your strengths and weaknesses may or may not be, is how you should strategize this workout. So we always talk about reverse engineering it, and that's what I would like to see you guys do on this one. So take a look at the workout, have some kind of understanding of where you can sell out and where you can push harder, and back yourself into your strategy based off that. 5 sets is a lot, so take that into consideration. Don't come out too fast. You want to start at about 75, maybe 80% of your max heart rate, and build and build and build, and the closer you get towards the end, close fast. That's what we're looking for in this one. The last thing I'll talk about, 2 things actually. The 1 minute rest. Strategize your 1 minute rest. Don't take a 1 minute rest kneeling down, bent over. Be in an athletic position. Open your torso so you can inhale and get oxygen into the lungs. You don't want to be in this compromised position how we see a ton of people resting. Rest with purpose. Rest so your next minute is effective. If you're resting like a scrub, and if you're resting in the squat position, you're loading your legs even more. Rest with purpose. That's it. I hope you guys enjoy Friday's workout. Please, please, please keep track of your scores, especially on this one. Thank you very much. You've had an amazing week. I look forward to talking to you guys next week. Peace.